Would you like to learn from those that are taking their lives, their businesses, and their passions to the next level? Best-selling author of Speakeasy and master connector Lou Diamond is here to connect you to some of the most inspiring and amazing people on this planet. Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another spectacular, fantabulous, absolutely awesome episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond, and today on Thrive Loud, we have a personal branding strategist and business coach that helps entrepreneurs reinvent their brand. She does this through her awesome company as the CEO of Built to Impact. Thrive Loud listeners, Maya Elious. Maya, welcome to Thrive Loud.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Excited to have you here. If you're on social media, you probably have come across her. If you are figuring out who you need to be in your brand, this is the person you need to talk to. And most notably, she's coming to us from Atlanta in a very colorful background there. Here's what I want to do for our listeners, Maya. I don't want to go all the way back to the womb. I kind of want to understand how this gig of Built to Impact became your gig.
Ooh, Built to Impact. Okay, I won't go all the way back to the womb, but I will start in 2008 when I first got into the branding space. I was actually a freshman in college, and I was creating custom MySpace pages for people, for like reality TV stars and models and music artists. And I was essentially helping people build their brand before I understood what building a brand was, because MySpace was the platform. Like if you wanted to be in the entertainment business, you needed to have a MySpace. And I just happened to like playing around on the internet, and somebody offered me $50 to create a MySpace page. And I just thought it was amazing that somebody was going to pay me money to do something that I thought was fun and that I was doing for free anyway. So that's how I got into branding. And then years later, I created a design agency where I was building people's websites, helping them with their social media. And then a couple years after that was helping my clients more so with the strategy. I recognized my gifts in messaging, so I helped them with that. That's really where I dove in with my clients. And then as my clients built successful businesses, they would realize they felt maybe stagnant in their business. And that's how we started tapping into reinvention. So, what is the thing that you want to do now that you have evolved?
I love that. And I love the background and the history, and we're right on top of our game. Maya, here's the question. For those listening, as I mentioned in the open, she helps women mostly with their branding online. This is a challenge in and of itself. Let's talk about this, and specifically in the reinvention space. There's a lot of people trying to reinvent themselves online in maybe ways that might not be the most professional, or it might be very casual. Could be from pop culture. It could be to, who knows, other types of things. And women have trouble with the algorithm in some of these cases. And this is what's going on. Help our listeners understand how you attack this problem, but also strengthen and raise up the branding work that's going on. Because I want to bring this right at the front. I've had tons of conversations, and it can become very challenging. So I'd love to get your take on this as an expert in this space.
Yeah. So I think, when it comes to reinvention, as you mentioned, a lot of people are trying to work on reinventing themselves right now. Maybe they're recognizing that what worked in the past isn't working anymore, or they just feel like they've outgrown a version of themselves, their messaging, their offers, their content. I think one of the most important things is to allow your community and your audience to grow with you. Don't just disappear. Like, I don't know if you've seen those memes that are like, disappear for 6 months and come back better. And it's like, you don't have to go into isolation to reinvent yourself. When you've built trust online, but the time you've reinvented, that means you've already built something successful. You've built an audience. People know who you are. And so your audience wants to be part of that journey. Share your story, share some of the lessons that you've learned over the last few months or the last few years, and just invite people on the journey with you, and pay attention to what people resonate with so you know what to do more of.
Would you say that most of the people that you're helping today are maybe pivoting or changing, or are kind of like maybe or have they hit like a halt, like they've done really well in something, but now they just got to shape it. Tell me, when you look at the clients that you're working at, say, who are the ones that I know that I can help make a difference and help them guide across that way? I'd love to get an understanding of the avatar of who you work with.
Yeah, for sure. My clients would definitely use the word pivot. They would say align or realign. They would say, I want to refine my message. The client that I work with is somebody who's likely a service provider. So they've provided services before, or they've sold digital products before, and they've done it for about the past 5 years, let's say minimum. Some of my clients have been in, their industry for up to 20 to 25 years, but this client minimum has been in the space for the past 5 years. And there's something about them that has evolved internally, and it could be something that doesn't even have to do with business. They got married, or they got divorced, or they had kids, or something happened with them spiritually. And they want to add another layer of depth into their business because they don't want their business to be surface level anymore. It's like when they started their business, they had a skill, they needed to learn how to market themselves, they made money, and it worked, right? So it was a working business, but now they want a deeper level of meaning and alignment with what they're doing.
There's lots of hats you have to wear during the phase of helping to brand people. Obviously, there's meeting your clients for the first time, or promoting and getting them in the door. There's initial strategy work, and then there's coming up with the execution and then seeing it through. If you look at the phases of what you do, which is the part that you personally enjoy the most?
The messaging, 100%. Sitting and talking with my clients. I think messaging is so exciting for me because it's not necessarily based off of my genius. It's based off of the genius of my client. And messaging, when I'm doing it for my client, it's really just helping me simplify what they're trying to say and refine it in a way that highlights the value of what they do. And so when I'm sitting and having a conversation with my clients as a coach, I ask the right questions to extract the information that I need. And I love hearing their answers and learning about them and their skills and what they desire to do. And then kind of putting that through a filter and then giving it back to them and then seeing them wowed by it. Like my clients call me Maya GPT because they're like, you just took what's in my brain and then you spit it out perfectly.
I want to hit this, and phenomenal segue, Maya. Obviously, there's a ton of AI stuff. We produce tons of podcast shows at Thrive Lab Productions. We use a lot of AI to help provide certain information and for optimizing SEO and language and stuff like that. It certainly speeds up. But I'm with you when it comes to using your brand and your messaging, whether it's on your site or in your social or what you're communicating to. There is a need for some authenticity. It has to show that it's coming from you, and there is no GPT that will figure this out. The balance of this, because obviously it could be made easy, but helping to make it really them. Help me understand, Maya GPT, what I need to plug in and type into you that's going to get the answer that spits out most appropriately for your clients.
Yeah. And I am a big fan of, leveraging AI, but you still have to know yourself and know your own voice for AI to really work with you versus working against you. And so I would say one of the first things that I get clear on when I'm working with my clients, there are 3 questions that we want to answer when it comes to messaging. And it's, who are you? Who do you serve? And how do you serve them? And so we start with, who are you? I want to understand their story, their mission, their why. What is driving you? Why do you care about this skill set? Why do you care about wanting to help people in this way? Why do you want to make money in this way? What are your values? What are the things that you're passionate about? What are the things that you love? What are the things that you hate? And so I love asking them those questions. And I think it's also really powerful when we work together because I also feel like people don't often have the opportunity to answer that question. Like they're so excited about what they do, but they're not often in positions where people are asking them and they can freely just like spill their heart out. And so I get to the heart of what really matters to them. And then I translate it in a way that's going to be marketable for their audience to receive it.
It is challenging, I would say, today, because the hardest thing, and I imagine, is that they'll see other types of communications, other types of messaging that we get bombarded with every day.
Yeah.
For people soliciting new business, I am sure within the time that we started this interview, you and I probably received 4 or 5, at least, inquiries about somebody trying to solicit something that literally just doesn't resonate.
Yeah.
And they get hit with that too when they're trying to figure out, should I be doing this? How do you help your clients not only get the right message, but as it relates to distributing that message, how do you get them to stay focused and on brand?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that I have them focus on is to not look at content just as content, because I think we get so caught up in the algorithm. We get caught up in, should it be a reel? Should it be a carousel? Should I be on TikTok? Should I be on Threads? Just all of those things. And we start to get overwhelmed and we just lose the plot completely. And the whole purpose of content really is just to have a conversation between you and the people that you want to help. And so the first thing I would say before obsessing about the format of the content or the platform of the content is really the heart of the content. Does this even make sense what you want to communicate? Because you could be on the perfect platform and post at the perfect time and the algorithm could be working just right. But if the message doesn't hit, the message isn't going to hit. And so that's the first thing I say. Let's talk about who you serve, because that's the second part of messaging. Who do you want to serve? If you could imagine you and your ideal client, you're sitting in a coffee shop and they are spilling their heart out to you. They're talking about what keeps them up at night. They're talking about what they're secretly searching in a private browser. They're talking about all the questions that they're asking ChatGPT. You as the expert, how would you answer those questions? How would you support them? So we start there. Then we say, now online, where does that person spend time so you can be the trusted resource for them?
I love this interview, people, because I get a chance. I don't even have to think of the next question. Maya's serving it up. She's serving up the platter, because here's the real question. The challenge is where, right? Obviously, once you identify who your clients are, there are so many platforms today that you have to communicate with. And by the way, it can be exhausting. I've got a 75-year-old client who is jumping on TikTok right now because, believe it or not, this seems to be relevant. Even though most of his clients are over on Facebook, and I've got a huge community of folks in Instagram and LinkedIn, in all these different platforms, getting your message to this point. How do you put a lasso around this? How do you get a hold of it? Because I know it's different from every one of these clients, and there is no right answer today. But how do you help them at least optimize the content that needs to be distributed?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the answer that a lot of people don't want to hear, because what I see a lot in business now, and you let me know if you're seeing the same things, is we are so desperate to find the shortcut to everything when no matter what your message is, what your industry is, you have to take the time to do market research. Like, I am not a mind reader. I don't know where your client is. We're going to put your message on every platform, and we need to do it for 30 days. And then we need to see which platform produces the most results. Then we narrow it down, and then we do it for another 30 days. Which one produces the most money? Which one produces the most inquiries? And so I'm a big fan of testing things. As a coach, I don't like to pretend that I know all of the answers. I think it's important that my clients learn how to run a business through testing, consistency, being disciplined, and not just a cookie cutter formula. Because even when they're not working with me, I need them to know how to think as a CEO and as an entrepreneur who's willing to test, who's willing to pivot. Those are the entrepreneurs that actually stay in business. It's the people that are like, but I was relying on the algorithm. Threads was it for me for the season. And then when Threads wasn't it, I'm out of business. And it's like, that's not how entrepreneurship works. That's not how anything successful works. Even if you don't want to do entrepreneurship, even if you're somebody who's an investor, you're a day trader, the market is changing every day and you have to learn how to think, be strategic, and pivot.
One of the client, and by the way, great answer. You're asking me what I'm seeing. When we're helping our clients get their message across and we're trying to create the content, a lot of it, by the way, being from pointing them to something else. A lot of the people who are creating their programs, their YouTubes, their podcasts, their whatever it might be. We have an idea of where we think their clients are.
For sure.
And what we also have done really successfully, I think, is we'll go really heavy for a little bit in one medium and then try another. Like, we want to See, even if it's going really, really well in one particular medium, we'll leave there for a little bit and just try the other one, as opposed to the spattering approach to be everywhere. We'll do a concentrated window of time in each one of those and see how it runs. We know that
Yeah.
we're not always going to get the thing, and then sometimes we might cycle it. In fact, it actually enables content to constantly be able to be sent out. You could do LinkedIn on one day and Instagram another day and TikTok on this day and whatever it is. And all of a sudden you start to figure out wherever those rhythms are. There's some beat to it. And it also can help you narrow down to where you know you're going to be most successful and where you need to be most often. That was my answer to your question, which I
Yeah.
think I'm sure after you ask all of those questions to your clients, they have a gut, but you probably give them a little bit more clarity and maybe even, or help them learn a surprise that they didn't even know about. True?
Yeah, yeah. And I agree with that too. It's like, okay, let's use our best judgment or guess on maybe the top three platforms that we think they're on and leverage those. I want people to test things, but you don't have to be in all of the places. But it's like, let's use our best judgment. Where are they spending time? Let's promote on there and let's continue to do what works. And while we're doing this thing on the side that's working, let's take a step over here and test
Yeah.
this over here. So I love that. And even the idea of, making sure that your message and your content is in constant movement. I think sometimes we start to think when we get in our own head, we're like, am I being redundant? Am I being boring? And I'm like, do you think that McDonald's pays millions of dollars for a commercial to run at once? Like, no, that commercial is running all day. And we don't get annoyed when we see commercials over and over. It's just like, oh, maybe I will go buy this today. Or I'm glad that the commercial came back around because it reminded me that I want this. So, and that's the same thing with our content. It is a conversation and a way to connect, but don't forget that you're running a business. This is also marketing and advertising.
Yep. And I think maybe the frustrating challenge that most people face, and those most people also includes you, is the content that we have to create maybe in one particular medium is going to be different in another. The language and communication you might use in Instagram Reels and TikTok might not carry over so well into LinkedIn. So there's
Right.
different ways that things can be said, and that offers a lot of challenges, and that's where AI helps a lot. I'll give that plug. That
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And things are moving so quickly. Again, I think that's where you really need to have that determination, perseverance, whatever word you want to use, just that grit to be like, okay, I'm willing to test something out again, right? It's like, what would have worked a few years ago, or maybe even 6 months ago, things move so quickly, might not work now. So, like, even with me and my content manager were like, okay, we know that our message is valuable, but we also know that people's attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So when we create videos, I can't just do talking head videos anymore, no matter how valuable the information is and no matter how well it would have worked in 2019. Here in 2025, when attention spans are low, I need to say something for about 3 seconds and then it's a different scene. And then I say something for 3 seconds and it's a different scene. So that's what we're testing. And so it's really important to understand the psychology of people who are consuming your content so you can relate with them in the way that they consume.
I just hope everybody watching the YouTube video just saw that I was listening as we were doing this to change the camera view each time, so that, because we know people aren't listening. All right, Maya, let's do the admin part of the show. Share with the listeners and viewers all the places people can find your websites, URLs, social handles. We will put it in the show notes. Gets more engagement when they hear it from you.
Yes, let's connect on Instagram at Maya Elious, MayaElious. And if you go to mayaelious.com/evolve, you can see everything that I'm doing there, helping my clients evolve, reinvent their brand, and be excited about their business again.
We will also put a link to her YouTube channel. Really great content and phenomenal testimonials from these amazing women that are working with Maya, and you should go check it out. It's really cool. Gets you all pumped up, and it's really good music on top of whatever you picked behind it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Maya, are you ready to go down Fun Street here on Thrive Loud? I know you've been thinking about
Ready
it.
to go on stream. Let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna ease on the on ramp here. Does Maya Elias have an all-time favorite movie?
Ooh, I have two, and they're completely different genres.
Okay.
I would say Enough with J Lo because typically I don't like violence, but I do like violence against bullies, so that's a really good movie.
Okay.
And Clueless with Alicia Silverstone. I love that movie. I know it word for word. It's so good.
I have a shotgun and a shovel. Nobody will miss you, kid. Still one of my favorite lines.
It's so good.
Dan Hedaya, underrated Dan Hedaya. We always love Dan Hedaya. So, no, the father
Yes.
of,
And I love that you know this movie. We're automatically friends for sure.
for certain. We already there. We'll come up with nicknames for each other before the show ends. I may have buried the lead there. Okay, we're going to kick on to Fun Street. We're going to stroll down Fun Street, stop at the Speakeasy Pub Crawl, stop at all our fun little places. And these are the things that matter the most to Maya. Here we go. Maya, of late, do you have a song that you love to listen to, or one that's kind of like your jam right now?
Oh, what is the group? I'm so bad at this. I have a morning worship playlist and the song is called Lion. Do you know which group that is? It's like
We can.
I love CCM music. Even when I'm working out and my friends make fun of me, I'm like, listen, I just love some good praise and worship. So that's my song right now.
We will check that out. We'll have to talk about one of your neighbors who's not too far away from there, who's in the same boat as you. If you're familiar with Montel Jordan, who was on the show not too long ago, lives like around the corner from you.
Yeah, that was my worship pastor. Yeah, I used to go to that church. I was a member.
Yeah, he's spectacular. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite food that is not a dessert?
Oh, probably pizza or French fries.
Okay. Favorite dessert?
Yep. Soft cookies.
Like chocolate chip soft cookies, like that kind of melty soft?
Yeah, chocolate chip or white chocolate chip macadamia nut.
Oh, those are delicious. Those should be illegal in certain states.
They really should.
They should be. An activity you wish you did more of?
Workout or travel.
Okay. An activity you wish you did less of?
Creating reels for Instagram.
Partially. I think there's some revenue deals for that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. A new activity, that one you've recently tried, you like so much, you want to tell all the listeners and viewers to try.
Ooh, what have I done lately? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I'm honestly a creature of habit. I do the same things over and over. I go to brunch with my friends. I see my parents and my nieces and nephew and sister on the weekends. And I sit on my couch and watch Hulu. And then I run a business in between it. It's all the same. I love them all.
Is there a show you're watching on Hulu that you want to recommend to everybody? How about that?
Ooh, okay. I watch the typical first responder TV shows like 911. I did watch a really good show called Presumed Innocent, and I think it was on Apple TV. That's a good one. Did you see it?
I did see it. That
was good. So good.
Did you see The Pit on Max? Oh, so put this on your list. It's Noah Wiley. Okay. Like, he's never left the ER, the poor guy from ER all those years ago. Noah Wiley is now running it's different. It's not his character, but the new show, it's one day in the ER in Pittsburgh, and they call it The Pit, this place that he's at, and it is intense. It's like what ER was years and years ago on steroids. Is simply put. Go check it out. The Pit.
Ooh,
P-I-T-T.
okay. I just added it to my notes. I'm excited. I might go do that immediately after because I run the business and then I go watch TV. So
it's like 15 episodes of intense. And when you're stressing and you're clinching on to something, you're going to be like, that damn Lou Diamond. What the hell did he put me through?
Right.
If I could snap my fingers and Maya Elious could be anywhere in the world, where is she?
Probably Bali.
Have you been?
Yes, I have.
Yes. She's like, oh, yeah, I've been.
Yes, awesome. Take me back.
Maya Elious, my new found friend here on Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond. She's told me to call her Maya Elicious if I'm allowed to, if I've earned the friendship. But right now, we'll just call her Maya Elious. So go check her out at Maya Elious on Instagram, everywhere. Continued success to you. Great job with everything you're doing. Thank you for your feedback on everything today. Fun conversation. Great to have you here.
Fun. Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. To all our listeners and viewers out there, thank you for joining us. Till next time, keep moving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Check us out on the web at thriveloud.com and follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at Thrive Loud. And check us out on the Good Pods app at Thrive Loud, where you can follow, listen, and connect directly to Lou and all of the Thrive Loud episodes. Thanks for listening.